Now we're going to take a look at subtracting integers. When we're subtracting, we are going to use the following rule. If I can find it. Add the opposite, or as I referred to it when I was in middle school, I used chop slice or chop chop. And what it basically means is that you got two hands. If you were a chef, you need to be doing two things: chef's chop and slice. So if you have buddies, so I'll show you, for example, 4 minus 7. Normally you go, oh, we just subtract. However, because 4 and 7 is bigger than 4, I'm going to add, so it becomes an addition problem, but I have to add the opposite because I'm taking away a good thing. So if I have $4 in my pocket, but I spend 7, so I take away 7 of them, I'm $3 short, which is how I get a -3 for my solution. Now on the other hand, if I have 4 minus a -6, in this instance, I have what we call buddies. And you know, buddies like to do the same thing. So therefore, I like to chop, chop. If I have buddies, I chop, chop them, make them positive, because if you have two buddies together, it's usually a positive situation. Therefore, making now 4 plus 6 as my problem, which is 10. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples here. And I do have a number line that can help you. Remember, negative also means the opposite. So we have 1 minus 7. So what that means I'm going to do is I'm going to start at 1 on the number line. And 7 is positive. So you would think you would move right, but we're moving the opposite of positive 7. So I'm going to move left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore making -6 my answer. The other way you can look at it is 1 minus 7. We need to add the opposite, so we're going to add the opposite because the opposite of positive 7 is -7. And then we're back to our addition rules where the signs are different, so you find their absolute values and subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. And 7 is bigger, 7 is negative, so therefore the answer is -6. I prefer the number line method, but you use whatever method works best for you. The next one is -4 minus 3. So I start at -4 on the number line, and it's minus a positive 3. Positive implies to the right, but I'm going to move the opposite of positive 3. So I'm going to move -3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. Which gives me an answer of -7. The other way you can look at it is if we have -4 minus 3, that I am going to go ahead and add the opposite to get -4 plus -3, which is that -7, because we have the signs the same, so we add them. The next one, we have 5 minus -2. So we start at 5. And we're going the opposite of -2. -2 would imply to the left, so I'm going to go actually the opposite, or to the right, 2, which is how I get an answer of +7. Because remember, we have buddies, so we would add the opposite. So instead of subtracting, we're adding a positive. 5 plus 2 is 7. The final one for the examples is -3 minus -6. So if I start at -3 on the number line, I want to move the opposite of a negative. So I'm going to move to the right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, giving me +3. You can also remember adding the opposite, chop chop, make them positive. -3 plus +6. So then we end up taking the absolute values of 6 and -3 which give you 6 and 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. 6 is positive, that's why the answer is positive. Your job now is to go ahead and complete these you-try problems, including one-word problem, and bring your questions to class tomorrow.